first guest to open the broadcast is none other than the executive director of IFA. It's always great to have our guest with us because he's going to help us set the stage for the next 3 hours and the next 2 weeks worth of coverage. Jens Heithecker, Mr. Heithecker, thanks as always for joining us on the program, but especially for kicking off this year. And it was tough getting you this year, I think more than ever before, because you've been busy.
Yeah, indeed. But first of all, welcome to Berlin.
Well, thank you, sir.
We're very happy that you're here and that you're covering our show through America and above.
Yes, indeed. A lot of it, because we have learned over the 14 years, it was 14 years ago we did the first show, and back then you were only every other year. So we've explained that. We even gave away prizes recently on the show. We had an IFA riddle. And how is it that we started 14 years ago, but this is our 13th year and we never missed one? And people were going, what? German math? I was like, no, this was a whole different scenario.
I have a new riddle.
Uh-oh.
It's the 56th show in 91 years.
That's another good riddle.
How can it be?
Yeah, how can that be? Same thing. Well, first of all, we also not only were every other year for a lot of years, but there was some skirmish or two in between that caused perhaps not so many shows to happen.
Exactly. No, IFA is the oldest show worldwide.
Yeah, 1924 was the first IFA.
1924 was the first.
Yeah.
At this time, the great radio show of Germany.
Yeah.
Here. 2 years later, we had the great traditional radio tower built on our exhibition site.
Yeah.
3 years later again, Albert Einstein opened IFA here in Berlin under the radio tower.
Nice.
And that's a very long history.
Yeah.
But technology changed a little bit in the meantime.
But just a little. In fact, we say on our broadcast every week on Into Tomorrow that, of course, IFA is rich in tech history. And no other show can say that, because you've been around for 90 years introducing consumer electronics and technology all this time. Every year, new things coming out and new categories of products that were initially launched here at IFA.
Yeah,
like the cassette recorder and things like that. People go, really? Yes, first at this show.
The first time MP3 software was released here in Berlin in 1997. Means it's a long history. We started as a broadcast show, as a broadcast technology show, radio, TV, and now we a show for the smart home, for the connected home, with all the devices you can imagine or above.
Yeah, that's true. And you've introduced in the last few years a lot of appliances as well. And all these manufacturers that often make consumer electronics in general are also making appliances. And the connected home is the key. So there's more and more of that happening now than ever before. And it makes perfect sense to make it all part of IFA.
Exactly. For us, it makes more sense to bring together the home appliances with the TV sets, with the connected world, instead of the connected car alone. Yes,
that's true. And even that is well present here, too. There's so much discussion about everything. If it involves electronics and appliances and anything high-tech, it's here at IFA.
Yeah, it's not only high-tech. It's about usability, it's about design, and if you see all the new home appliances, and it's about smaller home appliances for single households, for example. We know usually home appliances, especially major home appliances, are very big.
Yeah.
But what do you do with a big fridge in a single household?
That's true. And you end up having to make other changes, but various things make a difference in your life to help you have more fun, perhaps, be more productive, but at least also be more energy conscious, too.
Exactly. Very important topic for the world.
Yeah.
Not only for the Western European countries, even for America. It's now getting an important topic. And what the industry here delivers is not only better. A larger TV, for example, has more energy consumption, of course.
Yeah.
Means the industry has to deliver a more efficient solution for these larger screens, that we don't consume more of this energy.
Because we as consumers in general, of course, want the latest and greatest and the best and the biggest. That's just life, especially as it relates to consumer tech. But then we also have to be responsible about it. And we don't want the high electric bills and things of that nature, and we need to just deal with those issues. The industry has been doing a pretty good job, I think more so than a lot of other industries, in working on energy.
Indeed it did. They reduced in some categories the energy consumption by 90%.
Wow.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And if you think, if you would transfer to the car, you see the difference.
Very true. What can you tell us, Jens, that we can expect over the next 3 hours and over next week's broadcast as far as what you're expecting here at IFA this year in terms of just overall excitement and displays, and what's going to be the buzz here at IFA this year?
That's not so easy to answer because it's a real broad range of new products of innovation in every category. But of course, we will see here the 4K world. Not talking only about 4K televisions, we're talking about 4K cameras, video cameras, action cameras, 4K streaming, whatever the 4K family, the product family will offer. We will talk about the connected home appliances. We will talk about easier cooking or successful cooking.
Yes, successful. If you're
it's sometimes important.
If you're like some of us single guys and we don't cook often or not often enough, then you get some good advice with technology helping you do these things.
But my real big pleasure is we're talking about hi-fi, digital hi-fi again. You know, years ago with the new digital music, we missed a little bit of quality because of the convenience to get it portable. Now with all the storage solutions, with all the streaming solutions, hi-fi, high-end in digital music is coming up, and that's a big trend, and I'm so happy that I can hear now my music in the best quality.
And that's important for any audiophile, let alone consumers in general, but those like you who can truly appreciate good music. You don't want to ruin it by listening to just, low-res MP3s or something. You want to enjoy and be immersed in your music.
Yes, but I only know one song.
Oh, yeah?
Tina Turner, Simply the Best.
Sounds like it should be the IFA theme.
Could be, but we have other songs as well.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know what? Talking about Simply the Best, there was also some breaking news out of IFA that I'm very excited about on your behalf, because IFA continues to grow not only here at the Messe-Berlin fairgrounds with exhibitors and attendees and everything else, but growing in another region of the country, bringing, as I understand, SII China, an IFA global event coming up early next year.
Yes, we announced just that we started the preparations for a new show, Consumer Electronics in China. We think it's the right time not to create another export show for the Chinese market, for Chinese manufacturers. We already have the Chinese manufacturers here on our show with all the innovative products. They are very innovative right now. What we want to create, and what we were asked by Chinese retailers, for example, to bring in international brands, the innovations from abroad, from other countries, to the Chinese market, to the Chinese consumers. And the retailers here in Berlin saw how successful this show works for the Western markets in Europe and America, how the consumers are getting informed about the newest innovation, and the retailer at the same time can order this to get prepared for the consumers in their shop.
Exactly.
And this is the idea we have to transform, to transfer to the Chinese market, and that's what they wanted, and we try to deliver in our best.
I think you will as well, because I've learned in my last few visits to China, where we meet up very regularly and enjoy some great dinners and sightseeing and whatnot, is that the Chinese consumer now, more than ever, is becoming much more of a consumer, and not just, as you mentioned, manufacturers and shipping out products. They are clamoring for products from all over the world.
Exactly. We see a rising middle class. We see a rising middle class in China, despite the lower growth rates. And we think that, especially for premium brands, premium products, there's a new market, and we help to deliver this product to the Chinese markets.
Well, your colleague, Dirk Kozlowski, who will be on the show, I believe, next week, has already said that he leaned over during the press conference and he says, and of course you will be there because you have to bring your audience, SII China. And I went, great. So now I have to apply for another Chinese visa.
Smart way to get invited, but it's our pleasure if you come with us.
Yes, I thought that too. It's like, are you asking me or telling me? But either way, it's a show we need to be at. So the inaugural SII China will take place in April of 2016, and information no doubt can be obtained when you visit ifa-berlin.com. And of course, a lot of information from IFA in general, but we're pretty much IFA all the time at intotomorrow.com. If you've not checked out our brand new website officially launching here at IFA, be sure to check it out. Lots of posts, great videos, a lot of little video snacks. We've got podcasts, audio and video podcasts, everything for you at intotomorrow.com. Well, Jens, thanks for kicking it off, and we're having you make room now for so many of your exhibitors to come join us in the broadcast booth here on the show floor.
It's my pleasure, and I wish you a great show.
Thank you, sir.
And a lot of innovation you can cover.
Excellent. Well, and it's all here, too, at IFA in Berlin, Germany. I'm Dave Graveline. Into Tomorrow continues right here on the Advanced Media Network.